Imagine planning the wedding of your terminally ill best friend, only to discover she wasn't dying at all. She was secretly seeing my ex, stealing thousands, and running a year-long scam behind my back. And on the day she thought she'd walk into her fairy tale ceremony, I walked in and burned her entire double life to the ground. I'm 49 now, but this story happened in my 20s, long before social media receipts made lies harder to pull off. Back then, there was Mindy. We met in grade school. Her life was messy, loud, unstable. Mine was quiet and safe. My parents took her in whenever things got bad at home. She wasn't just my best friend. She was practically family. 4 years, she followed me like a shadow, eating dinner with us, spending holidays with us, sleeping on our couch whenever she needed. I thought loyalty was the one thing she'd never betray. In my early 20s, I got engaged to the first man I ever truly loved. He was calm, mysterious, too charming for his own good. I adored him. And then one day, he ended it. Just like that. No explanation. No conversation. He just said he didn't love me anymore. It shattered me. I stopped sleeping. I stopped eating. I fell apart completely. And through all of it, Mindy held me together. Or at least, that's what I thought she was doing. Months later, Mindy started looking sick. Thin. Pale. Exhausted. She finally broke down one night and told me she was terminally ill. I remember the moment clearly. My whole body went cold. She refused outside help. She said she didn't want pity, but she needed support. Her boyfriend, George, terrified of losing her, proposed immediately. She told me she'd always dreamed of a magical wedding, the kind we used to whisper about as teenagers. But she was too sick to work. He was drowning in student loans, and her family refused to help. So I did what any loyal friend would do. The money I had saved for my own wedding, I used it to plan hers. Every last cent if needed. Planning her dream ceremony became the one beautiful thing in a year full of heartbreak. I didn't know she was playing me from every angle. Around this time, I had to appear in court for a small work-related matter. As I walked through the courthouse lobby, I saw him. My ex. He disappeared before I could say anything, but the encounter reopened every wound I thought I'd healed. A friend who worked in legal records quietly checked his case file for me. He wasn't getting married. He wasn't in trouble. But he was involved in a fraud lawsuit. I brushed it off. He was too careful to get scammed. I had no idea this scammer was in my living room almost every night. Meanwhile, Mindy's insurance situation made no sense. I worked in insurance at the time, so I tried to help her find better coverage. Except her name didn't appear anywhere in the databases. She brushed it off. She changed the subject. She got angry whenever I asked questions. I should have realized then. But love makes you blind. And guilt makes you stupid. One evening my courthouse friend called sounding worried. "The defendant in your ex's case," she said. "It's Mindy." My brain shut down. The clerks had been gossiping, she said. Mindy wasn't sick. She'd been fired for stealing. She'd scammed multiple people. She'd been moving apartments every few months. And worst of all, she'd been having an affair with my ex. During my engagement. For almost a year. All the nights she comforted me, she would leave to check in with her boyfriend. But she wasn't going back to George. She was going to the man who had just broken my heart. She even forged medical documents to avoid questions. My entire body went numb. I sat on my kitchen floor and stared at nothing. Everything I knew dissolved in seconds. I didn't scream. I didn't confront her. I didn't cry. Something inside me went silent. Cold. Clear. The wedding. Cancelled. Every vendor. Every order. Every reservation. Gone. I got back whatever money I could. Then I sat George down and told him everything. He cried. The way people cry when their world finally makes sense in the worst way. She never let me go to treatments, he whispered. She always had paperwork ready. Paperwork she forged. 2 betrayed people sat at my kitchen table, breathing the same ruined air. And together we decided. We weren't going to yell. We weren't going to argue. We weren't going to beg for explanations. We were going to expose her, so she'd never hurt anyone else again. I hired a professional to create a beautiful tribute video for Mindy. Soft music, sweet messages, footage of her journey toward healing. What no one but George and I knew. Every clip we included was tied to verifiable information investigators already needed. We submitted it to a local news station as a feel-good story about resilience. A week later, it aired. Her face, her name, her story, all wrapped in praise she didn't deserve. Viewers recognized her from other suspicious situations. People who'd loaned her money years prior started calling in. The whole thing erupted. The lies she spent years weaving unraveled in minutes. George confronted her the moment she got home. She denied everything, then minimized it, then finally packed a bag and left without a fight. My phone lit up with calls and voicemails. I answered only once. "Mindy," I said, calm as stone. "I cancelled the wedding. I exposed the lies. And if you ever call me again, I'll make sure every step you take leaves a paper trail." Then I hung up. My voice didn't shake. But later I cried. Not for her, but for the version of myself who believed loyalty protected you from betrayal. Mindy avoided serious consequences back then, though several people later filed small claims. But karma doesn't forget. Years later, she was prosecuted for crowdfunding fraud and financial exploitation. George and I grew close after everything. 2 broken people rebuilding trust piece by piece. Eventually, very slowly, we fell in love. We now run a small clinic together. We have a quiet little family. And sometimes, when he forgets to unload the dishwasher, I jokingly call him Mindy. He smirks, because her name isn't a wound anymore. It's a punchline. I don't know where she is now, but I do know this. The truth always catches up. Maybe not today. Maybe not loudly. But always. And sometimes the strongest revenge isn't rage. It's rebuilding a life better than the one your betrayer tried to destroy. If you've ever trusted someone so completely their betrayal almost broke you, hit like, subscribe, and settle in. Because this is one of the most twisted revenge stories you'll hear all month.